Hi everybody, Jessie here. Been a long time no see. I'm back with a layout. Here I'm just showing you some of the papers I use. So I've got an October Afternoon paper, My Mind's Eye paper, and then a couple of the Teresa Collins paper, crepe paper from the, can't even remember. It's all in the thing there. So these are all bits and pieces that came from some of my Scraptastic kits. None of them all come together. These are some of the embellishments I'm using. So I got a bunch of Daily Flash stuff and one of the Teresa Collins packs. This is an old Pier sticker sheet. The switchboard or style board letters. Those are Daily Flash letters. Thickers from the Boardwalk, I do believe. And these are Studio Calico ones that I don't end up using. So that's a photo I'm going to be scrapping. That's my son when he was probably 3 or 4 months old. So I'm just going to trim off the bottom, using up some of my scraps here. I mean, you can't cut into a new sheet of paper every time. I like these papers, right? This is where I decided that this music note paper just isn't going to work. In the video, it looks really good. In real life, I hated it. So I put it back in my stash and went with this ledger type paper from Teresa Collins instead. And the white cardstock underneath is going to go away too because I'm not going to end up using it. So I'm just cutting out some blocks and stuff, and I'm going to begin kind of building the paper layers for this layout. And I kept them really, really simple. There's only like 3 layers of patterned paper on here. And then the photo. There's not a lot of embellishing, not a lot of much of anything on this layout, but I really, really liked the way it comes together. It ends up looking really, really full at the end, just because the title's huge and there's lots of journaling on it and all that kind of stuff. So now I'm just taking the Tim Holtz Tea Dye Distress ink with one of my mini blending tools, and I'm edging the outside of all the edges of the paper that I use just to kind of bring them uniform and give it a little bit of pop in between the layers. I decided that they all kind of melded together a little too much. So I'm just going to start adhering my base layers all together here, and then I'm going to pull that off the page. I'm not going to adhere it to the background yet. So I get those put together, and that amber sandpaper is going to move up once I actually go to put the photo on the layout. But for now, it's just fine. Oh, I was digging out my Peerless watercolors here. That's Sepia Brown out of the original pack, and then out of the bonus pack, I pull out the Forget Me Not Blue. I'm not sure if it's going to be long enough to read it, but it's the Forget Me Not Blue out of the bonus pack. And those are the 2 colors I use for my watercoloring. And I'm just going to take an acrylic block and spray a bunch of clean water onto it. And because this Teresa Collins paper is so textured, it soaks up the water similar to what a watercolor paper would do. Not the same because it's not watercolor paper, but it's strong enough that it doesn't warp too terribly bad. And then I'm just going to messily throw on some of these colors. You don't see a whole lot of it on the finished layout, but I do like the shadow it gives behind all the pattern papers. So I just kind of slopped a bunch of it on. And then I'm going to take my heat gun, and I show you that it's the Milwaukee heat gun. I use that one because I have killed, in 4 years, I have killed, I think, 12 or 13 heat guns, everything from like the Marvy, the Darcy, the Ranger. And this one I've had just about a year now, and it's still going strong, and it comes with 2 years warranty from the manufacturer. You can use it for paint stripping too, but I decided that if I invested a little more, if I blow it up in less than 2 years, I can get it replaced, and if I don't, it's good. So there I just adhered all the layers down, and now I'm going to bring my photo in, and this is where I'm going to move that amber sandpaper up so you can see the polka dot paper below it. I just decided that the border they were basically even, and I just didn't like that look. So I'm going to stick the photo of my little boy on there and pull out my letters, and I'm going to start the world's longest title that I have ever done. So first I'm using those, I used 4 different alphas on this. I start with those Boardwalk thickers, and then I take out those, they're Daily Flash alphabets from October Afternoon. And then right away here I realize that I'm not zoomed in far enough, so you have no idea what I'm spelling. It just looks like there's tiny little squares of white, and then on the layout they just kind of disappear. So there you go, now I'm zoomed in. So, and those are also from that same alphabet set from the Daily Flash, the script letters there. And then I end up, this is where I realize those Studio Calico letters are just too blue. So I end up pulling in an old pack of basic gray alphabets. There they are. And I use those in here because that color match is almost identical to the one from the Daily Flash. And then I'm going to use the style board alphas here, and I'm going to pull out the word hours from it. I don't like that they don't have all the letters on the back of the package, so I can't cross them off, so I have no idea what's left in there. And I just use my fine liner. I filled it with glossy accents, and that's what I'm using to adhere those letters on. I really like that glue bottle. It's got a little needle that goes in the top so it doesn't clog or anything. And then I kind of cut out a little bit here because my camera went really fuzzy on me. So, oh, maybe I didn't cut it out. So it's going to be really fuzzy and you can't see a whole heck of a lot going on here for a second. I'm just working on my title. Then I'm going to start futzing with it here right away to get it to come back into focus. And I end up having to muck with it. Zoom out, use my fingernails, and zoom back in. Sorry about that. So again, I'm back to those Daily Flash, and those are the only alphas I use, are those 4. So I guess I use quite a few different, five different alphabets in here. So I use quite a few, and I'm just going to finish up the title at the bottom here. If you hear squeaking, I'm sorry, it's my chair. I need to buy a new computer chair. Pull in the thickers again, and that's the end of the title. So then I'm going to zoom back out so you can see the whole title here. And I know you can't read those letters like the Hope You, but in person they stand out nice, like you can see them. So now I'm just going through all of those ephemera packs. I don't end up using the chipboard one, and I'm just pulling out ones that are in that similar teal color and words that apply to what I'm doing. And there comes in a little yellow here because I had to use that true story. It works. I mean, it doesn't bug me that there's not a lot of yellow anywhere else, so. I pull out a bunch of different bits and bobs. There I'm going through the Teresa Collins pack. That for real I end up not using. The red was just way too much on there. And then I'm going to start adhering everything down. And I don't push everything on real hard when I first start. Just because, as you'll see here in a second, I'm going to end up moving that title that I just put up on foam dots. That way I can pull it up and I can move it over and it doesn't hurt the layout at all. And I edge some of these with my Distress ink, and then I don't edge the others, and it's fine. I probably should have done it all, but I didn't, so it is what it is. Then I'm just going to write my son's birth date and the hospital he was born at on that piece there. Put that other cluster up there together, and then this bottom one I'm going to muck with a little bit here. And I end up pulling out some of those pure stickers I showed you at the beginning from crepe paper. I end up pulling those out, and I use I use one of the labels and one of the little file tabs. There's the label coming in, so I had to pick the photo up a little bit to get it to stick. And I kind of muck with these, and I don't really like it. I grab that file tab and stick it under there, which just kind of changes the direction of everything, and then it works for me. Like I said, I didn't put a whole lot of embellishments on this. The only thing else that goes on here after these 2 pieces is some enamel dots at the end. So then I'm just going to do a whole pile of journaling, and it's all good. So now you get to watch me write, because apparently there comes my son. Apparently I forgot to cut this out of the video, so you have to watch me write on here. And I'm just using a Staedtler pigment pen here and just writing my journaling all the way down the side. Like I said, there's not a whole lot on the layout, but it ends up really, really full at the end just because of the amount of journaling I did. So, and then I'm going to muck with that title and realize it doesn't work. And I'm going to pull out some enamel dots. I'm going to pull out some wood ones from Teresa Collins, some freckled fun ones from Basic Gray. Just hang on a second, buddy. I'm almost done. Or some freckled fawn ones for the white, and then the Basic Gray for the tealy green color. Caleb, 1 minute. I'm doing something. So I'm just going to put those onto the layout, and that's it. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Have a great day.